Bob Laurent described an embarrassing episode that occurred when he was in high school. There was one girl in that school that had certainly caught Bob's eye. During lunch one day, Doris, the special girl, walked right up to Bob and said rather silkily, almost musically, "Hi, Bob." Bob wasn't ready for this bold greeting. It recalls how flustered he became. He's only able to stutter out, "Hiya, Doris." It's almost time for them to return to class, and Doris moved toward Bob to say goodbye. In doing so, she placed her hand on his right arm. Instinctively, Bob's arm went into a rigid flex, and Doris exclaimed, "Wow, you've got some muscle there." For some crazy reason, Bob said he decided he just had to impress Doris. He tightened up his abdomen as solid as he could, and he said through clenched teeth, "Come on, Doris, hit me in the stomach as hard as you want. It won't even hurt." "Are you serious, Bob?" Doris asked. "I can hit you as hard as I want." "No problem," he said. Doris wound up and buried her fist in Bob's belly. She pulled back, waiting for him to fold. Bob looked at Doris as straight as he could with crossed eyes and said again, "No problem." He politely left, walked around the corner, opened his locker, and threw up his lunch. Recalling this incident, Bob Laurent concludes, "I don't believe I've ever really gained anything by trying to impress someone else. It's a game for losers." All of us want to impress somebody else. We want to look good in the eyes of others. All of us experience some pride. 2 days ago, I had to have 2 teeth extracted. You know what my primary concern was? I don't want anybody to see the holes in my gums. I have to wait 3 weeks before I can have a new partial plate made. I thought about waiting until after I had gotten my partial plate before I did any kind of devotional. Then I got thinking, I'm 79 years old. It shouldn't matter to me what others think about how I look. Author of Ecclesiastes says, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity, chasing after the wind." Vanity means emptiness, meaningless. The writer of Ecclesiastes came to this conclusion that all of life is empty. Self-indulgence, hard work, leads to emptiness. Now, I don't subscribe to that kind of thinking or philosophy. Charlie Reeb says he has learned 2 irrefutable facts. There is a God, and he, Charlie, is not God. There is a God, and none of us are God. That seems to be a rather simple thing to understand. It's amazing, though, how many people forget it. God is bigger, wider, deeper, longer than our finite minds can possibly understand or fathom. God cannot be contained by our language or any kind of formula or any kind of philosophy. If God were if God were small enough for you and me to understand about him completely, then God would not be worth believing in. The prophet Isaiah says, "My ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are greater than your thoughts." What I look like without 2 teeth is totally insignificant. God is still God. God still loves me, whether I have teeth or no teeth.